Y'all, my name is Hameen. I'm carrying the word. Thanks for all you've shown us. This is how we feel. You feel good today. He looks great. He's tan. He's jacked. He's in the zone. He's got the clean-cut beard. He's never looked better. It's El Sexico, El Idolo, and it's me, the Hardy Rock Pile, here to light that fuse. AEW Dynamite review, Greek God Papadon style. Opa, y'all. Yeah, man, back at it. What a day at HMG, from Stevie Richards and Hameen in the morning to the Vet and Big Ray in the midday, and taking your afternoon drive here or whatever siesta you're doing. It's time to light the fuse. No time to sleep on us. It's Silvio and Hameen back at it, man. Great day to be broadcasting, and thank you for Ray and the Vet filling in there in that interim and getting their show in. I appreciate all their efforts. And you know, they had to skip a day. Ray had a great day, family day at Six Flags, enjoying the summer yesterday. Am I all boxy right now or no?
You were for just the Six Flags part, but the rest sounded beautiful.
It looked great. Pictures Ray posted, a great family day. I was like, oh, that's cool, man. So NXT can wait. Nobody's going to fucking die without getting the NXT review. So, but if you've been with us all day, I know Frank's Pickle Barrel ass and Sonic had, man, what a loyal and faithful and psychopathic following who wants to listen about wrestling commentary about shitty wrestling, man. But how you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
That's cool, man. I love me a good psychopath. I just want to start by saying Rock Pile,
yeah.
We are motherfuckers, not motherfuckers. But yeah, man, I'm just doing my thing. You know, I had a couple drinks, saw a couple things last night on AEW Dynamite, and I'm excited to talk about what those things are today. Cool, and do a deep dive, a thorough investigation. Hameen and I today are on stakeout, which is why I have these glasses on here.
Nice.
And we're investigating the hell out of last night's AEW Dynamite.
Yeah.
Somebody may be brought to justice. I don't know. You'll have to tune in. But a shitstorm's coming your way.
Great to see you. And big shout out to the producer of the year, MSG, as he's on vacation this week. Also posting some great pics. Still even doing social media work while he's on break. But looked like he had a great festival last night he was partaking in. And I told him, man, don't worry about posting and shit. Just to enjoy some moments with your boys and have a good time, man. So hopefully he's recharging his batteries. I just had a great talk in between shows with a MC I saw in World Star that had some very interesting Illuminati stooge report, and I think we're going to do something together. I just got to get through these meetings in the next 48 hours to set up my next moves on the chessboard, man. So exciting times every day. I mean, just the fact that we're broadcasting here live on twitch.tv/Hameen Media and YouTube, Hameen Media Group, while I'm banned on my own channel because of a strike against a Conspiracy Horseman show a year ago out of nowhere when they're reviewing my channel. It's just, as we're building out Realm to get around all this, it's an insane time of like, is 12 years of my work going to get pulled before that happens? Or, you know, I don't know, man. It's just walking on eggshells, but that's how it goes. We don't let it slow us down. Even if all that was lost, I'll make new. I don't give a shit. You can't stop me, and they never will. So that was a good conversation. Creatively, I'm charged up right now, man. And just because we're down a man, that means we step up, and I like that feeling too. And somebody who stepped up big this week was our own Greek God Papadon on AEW Dark. You can go check it out about 32 minutes into the show. Him and not Maluda, is it?
Sean Maluda?
Yeah, Sean Maluda. It was his tag partner versus, I call him Super Smash Brothers, but Grayson and player Uno, of the Dark Order. And dude, GGP comes off as the consummate pro, there for everything, gets his hold in the right position.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Dude,
he knows what the fuck he's doing.
He killed it, man. He killed it. And all I'm thinking to myself is, let's get on the social media. If there's a big Greek match going down for Jericho and MJF, well, then there's nobody better to consult than the Greek God himself about how to strategize. I could see GGP in a big, conference next week with a strategy session of the Greek gods, going to tell them what's going on, man. But they were there for everything, and everybody looked safe. One thing that looked like I would have done is, and I asked him because I wanted to bury him, and he didn't. And all he goes, no, it was no problem. He got right up for it. He looked like when he had to get in the back body drop, he had to raise Uno up. He had to muscle up. He sandbagged him. But I go, but GGP's strong as shit, so it don't matter. Yeah. So. But I go that because that looked like something I would do. So
sandbagging part or the lifting part?
Sandbagging part for sure. No help.
Oh yeah.
But guys, I remember in Canada, this one dude I fought. Shit. Well, I don't remember his name off the top of my head for some reason, but fucking great guy, man. And he was a strong bastard too. He goes, and I was on his back, and I was probably close to 290. And he goes, I'll get out of the camel clutch, and then I'll stand up with you on my back. I go, oh, you will? He goes, yeah. He goes, I can get you up. I was like, he goes, I've gotten Kong up before. I go, from a seated position, like with him on top of you. He goes, no. But dude, he started to come up under me, and all of a sudden he goes, he couldn't get me up worth his shit. And then that's how it ended for him. So
that's great. So awesome, dude. Well, fuck yeah, good for GGP, man, getting that shine on AEW Dark. He'd be a good addition to have. And I like your idea of throwing him into the Greek mythology angle. Right. Hell, maybe we can even get Zordo's olive oil involved and have them all lathered up in some Zordos. Yeah.
Bubbly and Zordos.
Can't get a hold of anybody.
ZordosOliveOil.com if you want to order yours for sure to take part in the Greek pantheon that's going down, man. So super proud of my boy. I knew he'd kill it. We were kind of sitting on it because we don't want to fuck up anybody's bullshit over some little internet heat. But man, I hope they give him the mic, because that'd be the thing to let him be in there, and he's going to absolutely kill it twice as well as he did in the ring, so maybe we'll come up with a little pressure social media campaign and plant the seed. You never know what it could grow into over the weekend. So appreciate everybody retweeting at Hameen Media Group. We've got so much stuff going on Twitter. That extra coverage you guys help give us on that, and Instagram, and everything Plaja and Ryder and Kaz are doing, man, cutting clips, and over on Russo's side, Mitch and Jeff, obviously, and just everybody's just full speed ahead. There's so many people working behind the scenes, Rad Rob, Rick Vickery, and then A Show with Colin, man, everyone's just really pushing it, and I love that momentum. It keeps me fired up to do more. So and then to see my boy shining, man, that's just so good. It's so good. What else? I do got a not so good story, that I didn't stooge off to you, and I already stooged it off on the Friday locker room, and I could have kept this private, but
so you're giving me a secondhand stooge.
Yeah, from a first-hand report though.
Okay. All right.
So, I guess Hammer went last night and was seeing the boys, and then to try and get over, and got escorted out some just like stooge shit, man. And some people who shouldn't have turned an eye, just turned away kind of, and other people were very cool. So a sticky situation. I don't want to go into it any farther than that, but that shit hurts my heart, where the other stuff gets me pumped up. There's just no reason for it. And it's happened to Victoria at WWE. It's happened to, what happened to Jamin at WWE is a thing of nightmares for a worker. So it's not like a one-time exclusive thing that this happens, but that breaks my Rip being banned or whatever. That shit breaks my heart, man.
Was this in Texas?
It was last night.
Last night. All right. Is that as far as we can go into the location?
Yeah, whatever night one was last night. And gotcha. I'm not going to name names who was cool and who wasn't or anything. That's not for me to say anything like that. It's not even really for me to name drop him, man. But
sure. Well, most people have no idea unless they're insiders.
Right.
When you say hammer,
Yeah,
people don't know.
yeah. But this is light the fuse, like any HMG show. I gotta say that I don't always have to say the truth of what I know. I can fave shit, but that to me is like a god damn, why? Like you're gonna have your NBA room and your music room and great catering after the show. That's one thing, dude. But like Big Show's right there, and he's in Big Show's thing. You know what I mean? He like that. He was in the Mayweather thing. It just kills me, man. Like that.
The politics of wrestling are shitty, man. You know
Yeah, dude. And but you hear not like hear like I have to believe it. Like, oh, really? Is it different? Like I know it's not, and it never would.
Sure.
But like then when you hear those Carano-esque situations, you're just like, ugh. It's just like, why even bother trying to deal with them or help anybody? You know what I mean? Why?
And if that's the case, I don't know what happened in this specific incident, whether it was warranted or not. But I just know I thought the company was special when they started because they, branded themselves as this inclusive place that wouldn't be like that. A place that would be open to welcoming in indie guys, giving them a shot. And if they're good enough to dance,
they are doing that.
They can stick around. However, if they are doing some of the random shittier things more associated with WWE, throwing people out of the building for dumb reasons. I know a guy that was called there to work as an extra, and then he was told they didn't need him at like 5 p.m. and that he had to leave the building immediately. So he had to like call from 3 hours away to get a fucking ride. Like those are the shit things that WWE will do to people. And I was hoping that because it was run by the boys for the boys, AEW would be different. If that's not the case, I'm sad to hear it.
Yeah, and there's other things too. Just being saying the name Dylan Bostic will trigger them, and like they like, why would you hurt your credibility over those types of things to like play the game still at that low level? You know what I mean? That's the thing. It's just so low. It's so low, and like they have the chance to be above it, and I feel bad for both sides almost. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, the whole game's whack to begin with.
Yeah, it's just tough to wash that shit off to me.
That's why
I just want to work with people who have some work ethic and character. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And shout out to Genocide. She inspires me every day. Today, her post of her in the makeup, her in the boxing gloves, and just work ethic. Dude, like it just makes me want to work harder because that's just it goes beyond man or woman or anything along those lines. It's all about, there you go, Empower, NWA, all women's event. I want everybody to order it, because there's so many women just who have that. If I feel that way over a bro story, think about how some of these women have been effed over 10 ways to Sunday. And this is their opportunity to show, they're not trying to prove, hey, we can do what the guys can do anymore. It's about, we know the whole game and we're not going to be held down by the fucking game. This is our thing. And I hate to say it, not to say that wrestling bullshit couldn't lead into that as well, and the same shit could play out. I hope it doesn't, but now is because they tried to do it on a marketing Me Too speaking out movement, and that's all it was a marketing move. And a lot of girls got their shine, and a lot of people got to do it, but it's still
not to confuse anyone. You're currently referencing WWE's Women's Revolution.
Yes. Sorry. I know I crossed my own thoughts there.
Crossing streams, pal.
Yeah. But that's why this NWA event is very important. And you boost SmackDown, boost Raw, or Money in the Bank all you want. Spend a couple bucks, get this for sure, and support people that have been great to us. Mickey James, Magnus. And we got so many ties with NWA and Velvet Sky and Aaron the Idol Stevens, ODB, Serena. Yeah. And Timmy Baltimore is there, and I want to see him succeed. And I'm not just succeed. I want them to get their fuck you moment on them, bro. Mm-hmm. I really do. Like they more than earned that. So we'll see, dude.
What's super cool about the Empower thing? I'm flashing the shot again here. For those of us just listening to the audio, they put out the poster for the NWA Empower pay-per-view that is coming at the end of August. and 4 women are pictured on it. It is Smiley Kylie Ray, the women's champion Camille, legend Mickey James, and Genocide in a crazy ass pose holding like a battle sword.
Awesome.
So that's really cool for her to be featured as the attraction that she is, something I've told her from day one. You ain't here to be a wrestler like everyone else. You're here to be an attraction and sell tickets. So it looks like NWA has the same mindset that I do. So yeah, man, I'm pumped about that pay-per-view and proud of her. It's history making. You know, NWA's been around since the early 1900s. They you know, Waterloo, Iowa, 1948 is when all the mafia bosses sat down and decided whose territory was what. So during all that time period, they've never had an all-women's event. I'm a fucking nerd when it comes to history, especially wrestling history. So to me, I just think it's cool that a company with the lineage that NWA has is doing this all-women's pay-per-view with some legit good women, and Jenna gets to have a prominent role in that. So it's pretty cool shit, man.
That's phenomenal stuff, man. All of our love to her, and I hope she just keeps going forward on that work ethic track, which I know she will, and it just gets more and more success off it. That shit, when I'm having a tough one, usually that's exactly when I see one of her IG posts where she's kicking the shit out of a fucking Muay Thai bag and trainer, and then she's doing pull-ups and she's doing this, that, the other, and then she's also having fun doing float party and that kind of shit. I mean, that's like one of my spirit animals, no doubt about it. So y'all give her a follow at Genocide, you guys, on everything, and get that NWA Women's Empower pay-per-view.
Yeah, you can get a bundle where you get the Empower pay-per-view and then the NWA 73 live from the Chase. So yeah, for like, I can't remember, but I don't remember the exact figure, but I looked at it and was like, fuck, that's cheap as hell, where you can watch both pay-per-views for one price. So just check out Fight TV. They'll have all that info. You know, you can pre-order or whatever.
Awesome. Yeah. This weekend I'll be on the road in New Jersey, so looking forward to getting back out there. It's a long trip, but we'll have a good time.
Who you got out there in New Jersey?
I got my man Blaze Haram's back, so you never know after we take out Merc who's next on the target list. So I think we might do first strike and second strike this show. So y'all, but Hacker will be out there.
What flag are you carrying around these days?
I still have my Daesh ISIS flag with my face on it. So
have you ever run into a sticky situation like in an airport, or you get pulled over on your way to a show?
No, never hopefully pulled over because that has happened. Yeah. Yes. I pulled over on the way to a show. We were on our way to Canada. It was me and a former tag partner of mine, and he's Palestinian, and I looked the gimmick, and these 2 white cops came rolling up on us as we went by them in the left lane on the highway, a lane over, and the dude just saw us. They got in their car from pulling somebody else over and drilled us, and he expected to walk up on the car and hear some fucking serious accents and shit. You know, they're in 9/11 mode. Yeah. And one's got a hand on the fucking gun as they walk up, and I roll the window. I go, "Hello, officer. How can I help you today?" And like as soon as I went full white boy on him, fucking like instantly everything goes, and like So he goes, "Why would you guys go by us like that?" I go, "I'm not sure what you mean, sir. We were in the far lane." He goes, "Yeah, but we were over here on this side of the road." Like he's looking for any excuse, and he goes, "Let me see the papers." That's all rental under my name, and so no problems there, and nothing like the flag wasn't out and shit, and they weren't going through our bags or nothing. But it gets hairy like that. But if I got to fly or whatever, I'll get a new flagpole when I get to the town and chop it up how I need to. But I fold all that shit up, so it's like not out. But there's been. It's always dangerous. You just got to fucking play it cool and be the other character. I have to be my CIA cover. I have to be this. You know what I mean? So
you're so lucky you don't do much international, because I've had plenty of trips. Usually anytime you fly into England to get wherever else in Europe, 9 out of 10 times my bag gets checked in front of me. and I just look like a fucking dude. I don't, look
Yeah.
anything resembling 9/11. And they'll go through the smallest details, especially when I would bring my podcasting shit like microphones. Oh my God, it was fucking World War III. I can only imagine them opening your shit, seeing the chic boots, the head wrap,
Gimmick. Yeah.
folded flag.
I have to go through my bag to make sure there's no chain, no plastic brass knuckles, no spike, no fork, no fucking. Because I got a bag full of gimmicks, and sometimes after a show, if I use a lot of them, I just put them back in. So when I reset my bag, one might be sitting there. Fucking, I'm like, dude, that's I have to empty it all out. So that's part of living the gimmick, man.
Here's another. We like to give the real on some of the wrestling stuff. I haven't wrestled in Canada in a while, so I don't know if it's still like this. But I remember when we would go, we would have to go in rogue style. We couldn't say that we were there to wrestle because we'd get turned back at the border for not having the papers. Right. So we would put our gear on, including my wrestling boots, underneath jeans. So I'd have my tights on and my knee pads. I'd put jeans over top and like a hoodie, so you couldn't tell what I was fucking wearing. And in my bag, should they check, is just like my fucking clothes. And, never bring title belts. And it was just, we're going on vacation. We're going to check out Toronto for, a few weeks. But it was always such a fucking scary moment at the border. Like, oh, please don't search me. Don't find my fucking wrestling boots and my wrestling tights. I guess the worst that could happen is they just throw us out and say you can't come back for X amount of time. But
yeah, pretty much. But to be honest with you, I've never had issue crossing. And there's two different places we cross near Niagara Falls, and but I think it's because it's the casinos right there, and people are going back and forth between Buffalo and there all the time. And I don't lie about it. I just tell a half truth. I just say, they're like, "What are you going?" I go, "Oh, we're going up to our friend, see our friend Congo Kong wrestle on this show up in Welland or whatever." And it's true. I'm going to see him. He's going to be standing right there next to me. I'm going to see everything he does. And it would be enough to pass a polygraph. So, that's how I do it. And, yeah. Why not? Like, and they were like, well, or sometimes I'll drop the promoter's name, our friend Chris Plant or whatever, and then I'll go that moron. And then, but they usually don't fuck with. It's like, how long are you going to be? Like, we're just going up and coming back. We're not staying the night or anything. And then you're going to get anything duty free, and referee Sideburn gets his cigarettes, and we fucking exchange our money at the fucking casino, and out we go, bro. And the only time now they're like, but just because in the interim it won't matter anymore. But they were like, you bring back any Canadian tobacco with you? It's for weed, you know what I mean? Because we won't be up there, whatever. Dudes are all smizzing, but fucking but now it won't matter in New York because it's all that shit's all done anyway. So but yeah, I've never had the issue that some guys have had. I know Canadians coming to America get fucked with a lot harder than us going there to work a show in Toronto or across the border or anything.
And I remember Chris Hero getting thrown out of the UK years ago. I believe they found a belt on him. And he got deported back to the States immediately.
Really?
He didn't come back for a while. Luckily, I had two European work visas at different stages. I had one for the UK, and then I had one for Italy. So usually I was covered. In the event that my visa wasn't up to date and I was there on a tourist visa, it'd have to be, I'm going to, visit a friend at this place or family at this place. But what I always had one ready to go, and thankfully I didn't have to use it. Should they discover my gear and my boots, I was gonna say I'm going to either like a cosplay thing, or like one of those sex shows where you wear like the latex and all that, thinking that they wouldn't want to delve too much into that.
That's good.
So I never had to bust it out.
I heard one thing to do with that is it's extra money, but a concert ticket, like in another fucking thing, like they just let them go for that kind of shit and come back and no one really questions it.
That's not a bad idea. Have you seen that new show on Netflix, Heist?
No, I haven't been able to watch anything. The only thing I got is trailer fucking on in the background right now, man.
Dude, you're gonna love it. But to summarize it, it's real heists, that were done very well, and they got away with it for a little while and eventually ended up getting caught. This one woman had robbed $3.5 million from Vegas in 1993, and she spent 12 years on the run in Amsterdam. She finally got fed up with it and wanted to turn herself in. But she had to get into the States first to do that without being apprehended. So she just put on a British accent and told him, "I'm here to see Oasis, mate," and just started putting over Oasis and how great they were. And the guy at the desk was like, "Stamp, get out of here."
Yeah, exactly. Like if you just do need to do a little research on the band and fucking, because when they go, "What's their number one song?" Sing it. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know the numbers. I think on this week's show, based on what I saw in the live crowd, still, I was impressed. I mean, it was a lot of hardcore AEW style fans. We'll leave it at that, but it was full, and I heard Houston's full for WWE. So no Hameen Tarp Emporium yet, but that WWE creative though, read earlier, John Cena's coming back next week after Money in the Bank.
Has that been verified?
I guess so.
Right,
big Stooge report.
I heard he's on some kind of movie, so it's up in the air. But
it's in between, I think, right now, and that's why he can do it between now and SummerSlam. Yeah, we kicked the night off with Moxley and Machine Gunka Anderson, man. I'm going to let you say good things before I already have to say bad things, because
I already know what you have to say.
This match made me upset, man. I was just like, I wanted to be into this, and this fucking left a rotten taste in my mouth, bro. Go ahead.
So I'll fill in a little bit for Maddie in the process. We had our opener here of John Moxley with Eddie Kingston facing Machine Gun Carl Anderson for the IWGP US Championship with New Japan rules, including the 20 count on the ring. I love that Moxley came in hot. The emotion was literally just blistering off of him. He's so fucking fired up at the live crowd. That was my favorite part of this match. But getting into the match, they did a very strong style match. They got a lot in, especially Carl Anderson. They did a lot of strike exchanges. At one point, they had to throw a good 20 forearms each without a sell until they worked to a double collision and then sold. Anderson hit a lot of his stuff.
Double collision was a double clothesline.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them got right up, fed it, and did it again, and then were knocked out.
Then sold.
And
yep.
all of the and not all, but 70% of those forearms had air in them and were just so baby soft, bro.
Yep.
Like they took care of each other, but it looked like crap. Go ahead.
And it started really hot as Eddie Kingston immediately starts chasing Gallows. They fight through the building, which was a really cool visual. Then we center in on the action in the middle. They really let Carl Anderson shine in this. He got in his cutter off of the ropes, his neck breaker off of the ropes. All Carl Anderson's greatest hits for the most part. Moxley did his shit. I know just watching this is not Hameen's kind of match. And I do like matches that are a little bit more heavy on the selling. I will agree. But I could tell they were trying to have a New Japan style match in AEW because it's the New Japan Championship. And I guess Carl Anderson is the guy to do it with. If you're going to do that match, you might as well do it with Anderson, who came up in the New Japan system and cemented himself. I thought it was cool for what it was. I do like the more storytelling based kind of match. But, they went out there and they fucking had a hard match. They worked hard. I was entertained by it. At the end of the day, I was happy. So now, Hameen, I know that you really love strong style, especially Japanese style. So I want to hear.
Dude, but it's like I would have been into this match if you did a quarter of the elbows and a guy really registered and sold away and then came back in and was like, "Come on, Mitch, hit me." Boom, and hits him, and fucking he really sells it. They just stand in the pocket and didn't move at all. And I was going, ugh. So right there where I'm like, come on. And then other spots where he's got him on the top rope or whatever, and Anderson goes up and Moxley sells up and he's on the stumble. Like you can count it. He goes 1, 2, I'm back to life, runs up to pull him off, dude. He did that twice where he sells up on the stagger, waiting for him to get up on the top rope. And then quick, I come to life. That double clothesline, double down. Why? Why are you going to do a double down and no sell the first one? You're going to take an extra bump that's meaningless because you're about to do the same move over again, possibly not as nicely as you did it the first time, and then take a bump because you're coming up off of a bump where you might already be half-ass rocked from fucking hitting your head. Like, it's
I don't know if that was intended to be that. I have a feeling the first one, only one person was supposed to go down.
No, it was the fucking boom. Fuck, I do that one because it's safe and it's easy. That's the thing. Even when he's biting him on the top, these guys worked super safe in strong style to the point that it exposed the business even worse than the no selling. I'm glad they didn't kill each other. I'm glad for that, doing a bunch of dumb shit. But then in the finish, fucking old boy hits his machine gun, hits his fucking cutter. 1-2 kick out, goes up, gets cut off again, and takes one of Moxley's fucking thing and is dead. So your shit doesn't mean nothing. I can sell up, hit you with mine, you're done. And weren't we doing the bulldog choke? That's the fucking thing to do here, not no sell his shit, get up, do my shit, and be over. So to me, I get it. I'm not the strong style fan, but there was so much wrong in the pieces are there, but the puzzle is not put together the right way. You know, like it's all right there, but you know, it's like you're making a sandwich, but you're putting the meat on the outside of the bread and eating it that way. Like, what are you doing? Like, so I don't know, man. I had high hopes for this, and it just from those elbow strikes on, and then the phony 1, 2, I'm alive. Like, no, that's not how this shit is done. It's not. So
I'll agree with you on the finish, man. It did feel a little bit flat to me after Anderson got that very believable falsie. I think it was his finish, and Moxley kicks out. Yeah. And then it was kind of one transition paradigm shift. So it wasn't like the usual New Japan finish build where they'll each have several strong false finishes or maybe even trade finishes a time or two and they don't work. And then the second or third or fourth time,
that's when you go.
Or the choke. And Moxley did the same thing in the Yuji Nagata match, which I ended up liking that match. But it's same thing where the finish came out of nowhere, and it wasn't the type of finish that comes out of nowhere where you leap to your feet. Sometimes a finish out of nowhere is great, but it's not working with the setup and then the paradigm shift. Because he has to slow him down and then hook him. It's not like an RKO that he can just fucking deliver from any position. He's got to get set up for it. So I think that's what slowed down the finish.
And here's the issue where I'm not going to win on this by any means because the crowd pops big on it, but it's because they're back and they're hot and it's the opening match and they want to pop. They're waiting to. So that reinforces that they just did everything right in their own minds. And there's no way for me to undo that when the reality is the crowd don't know what the fuck they want. And those guys didn't tell the right story. They could have told a way better story that had way less impacts on them. And with the same shit that they did, just reconstructed in the right way. And then the crowd would have went nuts for real for the right reasons. They gave them a false positive that they'll be like, well, the pop's a pop, bro. Okay. All right, man. Thanks for listening.
and I can't say, and I never do unless it's something egregious. I can't say they did anything wrong. For my personal preference, I would like a little more selling and a more storytelling based.
Well, I would say that's wrong, isn't it? You're not selling. That's wrong.
It's not wrong. If you're okay, if your market is Japan, I know this is not Japan, but if your market is Japan, and you're selling out the Tokyo Dome in Japan year after year, what translates from the product in the ring to the box office, then to the bank is working. doesn't mean it's going to work at the county fair or even on TNT television. So unless it's just somebody that's awful at their craft, I don't like saying people are wrong, or doing it the wrong way. I am a firm believer in the many flavors of ice cream.
Sure.
You and I don't quite see eye to eye.
You got to sell a forearm to the face. No human being is going to be able to relate to that. Like, wham, hit you in the face and not move a fucking inch. And it's the marking out for Japan because it worked at the box office there that is the excuse to make it all right to do it here is what's wrong. It shouldn't be Japan influencing American strongs or bringing that to America. Yeah. It should be America showing Japan, sell, you dumb bastards. Sell away and then come back. Clock your jaw for a minute. Show how much that hurt you. Then he'll fucking sit there with his chin out ready to take another one and you blast him. And then he fucking, oh my God, my face. And then fucking shakes it off and come on. And you fire up.
Yeah.
That's how you do the spot, not sit there, Don Fry. No, that's rotten. And anybody who does that is doing a disrespect to the art of wrestling. That's not a flavor of ice cream argument, is my point. That's wrong and sloppy. That doesn't enhance what we do on any way in any style whatsoever. And it's Japan's fault. And it's the propagation of those guys bringing it here and justifying it. That's a bad habit that stays in wrestling when Japan should learn how to sell and get it over the right way instead.
You know who I think you'd enjoy a lot? Okada. Have you ever watched many Okada matches?
I've watched a couple, and he's interesting. I can get into his stuff.
Okada does a lot of what you're describing. He'll do some of the more traditional Japanese spots, but Okada works a slower pace match with a lot of selling, a lot of milking of the big moves and holds, a lot of teases until he finally hits his Rainmaker clothesline. Yep. I think that's the kind of Japanese wrestling you'd really appreciate.
Yeah, it's just what I need in my life is to watch more wrestling. Backstage, Lance Archer talks with Jake the Snake about being so simple who John Moxley's next challenger should be. Archer brings up how Moxley took the title from him a year ago, but it's time for his rematch. He said that the Texas death match in Japan. So how about they have another one in Texas next week? I'm confused, man. Like last week we have Lance Archer taking out fucking American Top Team and then no Jorge Masvidal retribution or nothing to go into that line. And now we just have Jake pissed off and Archer being a heel, calling out the babyface Moxley. He was just a babyface taking out the naysayer from American Top Team. What are we doing, Sil? Is this some being the elite or dark stuff that in between here that I missed? I don't know about.
Not that I'm aware of, bro. I was already hot a little bit going into the show, so I was kind of riled up and looking for things to point out. And this one did get me. They're big showing Archer. Remember how WWE had Big Show heel and face 47 times, so you never knew what the fuck he was.
Yeah,
they've already done that to Archer, and we talk about this all of the time. How to build to a gimmick match, especially something like a Texas death match, which historically was the most brutal match in wrestling at the time. Mm-hmm. And it came out of the Amarillo area. I believe it was Dory Funk Sr., Terry Funk's father, who began doing these in his promotion. And it was the culmination of weeks and weeks of bitterness and bam, Texas death match. Instead, like I had to laugh almost when I heard the words come out of Archer's mouth. He delivered them fine, but I'm going, okay, so you're selling me on a cold death match next week? Why? We're on TV. I could understand if you were doing a one-off show. Like I'm an indie promoter and I got 20 grand to spend and I'm like, let me give everything on the poster so these motherfuckers get excited and they want to see the show. Fuck yeah, I'd book Archer versus Moxley in a fucking death match. I'd book Janela in a fucking cage match against somebody else who's going to do crazy shit.
We had Cold Strat.
This is weekly TV. That wasn't as cold though. That had 3-4 weeks build.
Well, okay.
This is no build. They have not interacted with one another since their match a year ago. Right. And now they're going to have a death Listen to the word in that, a death match.
At least nothing's got to explode. I mean, they got that going for
Buffalo.
them. Alex Abrahantes talks with Andrade El Idolo with his assistant. Andrade cuts of Alex and has a question for him. He says, "Where is the death triangle?" He tells Alex to give them a message. El Idolo is looking for death triangle. El Triangulo. Then we go into Brian Cage versus Ricky Starks and Taz on commentary. Good match here. Starks really, I mean, if you're going to break out Brian Cage, Starks is a better heel than Cage is. Obviously, people look at Cage and he's an attraction. He's a guy that you dream that you could fucking be that big, or if you're a woman that you want to climb on top of or whatever, or man, I guess at this point, or whatever you identify as. So it was the right choice to have the heel turn here, but at the end, I'll talk to you about some questionable stuff to get your opinion on. But, it felt like obviously if you're having infighting, somebody's going to get kicked out. You're not going to this is where it's going to be. And this was a good place to do it. So in the finish, Hook comes over to distract the ref, the jump up with Starks. And then Starks moves and blast Cage with it. Hobbs blast Cage with the belt. And it's supposed to be did he mean to do that spot? You know what I mean? Where it's like next week, find out like what happened. Was that a miscue and he hit the wrong guy and we're still going with this? But what did Hobbs do when he jumped down? He's holding the belt, looking at the camera, laughing, which means this whole thing was he's in on it. And we don't have that spot for next week. We just have shotgun Brian Cage as a babyface outside of Team Taz now, and we're going that way. So interesting choice. I don't know if the best choice for the most meat on the bone, but it was all in Hobbs's reaction there more than anything. So I don't know if that was an audible or, if that was definitely meant to be that way. So
it was definitely meant to be. This is one of the rare cases in AEW where I could say I enjoyed the post-match business more than I did the match itself.
Okay.
We always complain about them stepping on toes and throwing in random shit after each match. But I thought this was well done. He made it clear after he hit him with the belt that, yeah, it was on purpose. And then we see within the next minute, oh, fuck, all these guys were in on it. Taz comes back from the announce desk. They're all standing out there triumphantly. Taz got a mean look on his face, yelling at Cage. So it made it kind of clear what's going to happen now. Fucking Cage is going to come through, try to run through fucking each member of Team Taz, get his revenge, get his belt back, whatever it was. So I thought that was cool. The match itself was fine. Only thing I remember that I didn't like was Ricky Starks clotheslining Brian Cage on the outside and Brian Cage bumping.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I don't care. Ricky's in good shape. Ricky's my size.
That's the spot. They're missing. So when he hits them, what should happen? So
he fucking does not go down. He registers.
He registers, looks up at him, and hulks and shows his giant muscles, and that gives Ricky a chance to
fucking kick him in the balls, run away, poke him in the eye,
react or heal on him, right? Like, oh shit, I'm fucked now, and I better do whatever I do next. But when he bumps, all that's gone, and now he just buried his size, and fucking Ricky Starks can knock down Godzilla anytime he wants.
Yeah. So, and Ricky, I like as a performer, and he's in good shape. Ricky is literally about the same size human being that I am, and I guarantee I will outlift Ricky Starks. There's no way in the world, even if I hit as hard as I could, I would not take Brian Cage off his feet with a clothesline. At minimum, you got to dive into that shit. It's got to look something, and that's on Cage.
Big drop kick, maybe. You know what I mean? Like off the ropes or something like that. So, but it's about Ricky Stark's Jersey Shore facials that you just want to punch him in the face.
He's great.
He's awesome. Yeah, I think so too. Right out of the gate, the first spot, whatever the fucking hip toss onto supposed to be on a knee neck breaker, almost did break his fucking neck. Like very first opening spot. Whoops, sorry, boys.
I thought he was supposed to land on his feet. That's what I got out of it.
I don't know. It was danger. Watch yourself.
Now I have a couple questions for you. I'm gonna put you in the hot seat.
Okay.
One, what the fuck was Will Hobbs wearing last night? bro.
Oh, dude, that's that boy's back.
He had a black overalls, no t-shirt, and one strap undone.
Oh, he had a white t-shirt on underneath.
Did he have a t-shirt?
Yeah, but he had the one strap down. He's taking it cross colors, bro. We're bringing all that shit.
Who has overalls anymore unless you work on a farm?
Dope fucking Smurf bright blue overalls, bro, from Cross Colors at one time, like from what is it, JW West? Oh, I had so many fucking terrible outfits.
One more question.
Go ahead.
This is about Brian Cage.
Okay.
So Brian Cage loses to Ricky Starks last night, who's nowhere near Brian Cage's size. And I think we can all agree on that Brian Cage hasn't exactly become a breakout star since coming to AEW. He's in the picture for sure, but anybody watching could say he's definitely not the guy at this point in time. So I'm asking myself why, and I came on to the question of charisma. Do you think it's an issue of charisma and speaking ability that is keeping Brian Cage from being an upper tier guy?
Could be, but I don't think you need to. I think he should just be a destroyer, man. Drill claw until Tessa Blanchard comes in and beats him clean. And
Jordan Grace buckle bombs him.
Yeah, Apollo Pede, she could fucking do it. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt. So, I don't know. I think his wife has tons of money on her, and that they should go with that. Why not bring in Melissa Santos and she can talk on the mic. She can get over. I think she's got a lot of Terry Runnels kind of appeal to her.
Maybe we'll get Lana coming in with Rusev. And we'll get a feud with Cage and Rusev, a big Hoss feud with Melissa Santos as the manager.
I think that would draw.
Yeah, I think it'd be good.
On commentary, Taz is super happy about what happened. It looks like it was his plans for Hobbs to help Starks win from Cage. The group celebrates. Then we look back at Malachi Black's debut. Then Cody comes out dressed like a plantation owner from 1844 and demands that Malachi Black comes to the ring, and he does, all in black. So I like this, whatever, as above, so below, black and white, Illuminati, good guy, bad guy. It was very visually like, okay, exactly what I like there. So props to him on that. But he calls him Tommy N, Malachi Black, whatever it is, making it a little more real. I like when that happens where they had one thing planned and Cody's like, I'll fix this. Fuck it. I don't care about, you want to blur the lines. Here's how I do it. I say both names. Shut up. And don't have to tell anybody. You just go out
instead of Excalibur inexplicably knowing that's not Tommy N, that's Malachi Black. Right. Name no one has ever heard in their lives. But I know.
That's brutal. That's brutal.
This was dope, bro. I like
it. Me too. Because Malachi Black's up on the screen and it seems very real, and they're doing the smoky thing or whatever. Lights up, lights down, right behind them. Fucking, and then they get into it super hot.
They had additional layers in this, which I liked. They seldom use the set where the announcers are positioned to get business done. So I thought it was cool that Cody started by grabbing the headset and talking to the television audience. Then he said, you know what, I'm not getting my point across. Somebody give me a mic. So he got a mic, went in the ring, said his shit, called out Black. And then they had this realistic looking pull apart, and you could hear the energy in the crowd. Both wanting to see what happens and wanting to see these two get to do something together. So I thought it was really well done.
Being held back by Aubrey Edwards, not the most real pull apart in my opinion.
Well, there was more than Aubrey.
But she is the only one who really had a waist lock on him. I'm just like, oh my God.
She's the most aggressive ref in the business.
No, believe me, she's going to get her shit in. There's no doubt about that.
I refed a couple matches at our dojo student show on Sunday.
Nice.
And just kind of to entertain myself a few times, like after a bump, I'd do a little bit of the Aubrey sell. just kind of, as a opposition to you, even though you're not going to see it. I just thought it was pretty funny.
Oh, so bad. So bad. Tully Blanchard walks down the hallway in Bobby Heenan's red jacket, and Marvez goes to talk to him about some cheap shots on Conan, but Santana Ortiz tell him to get them stones to walk down the hallways of his own. They go to smack him with a lead pipe, but don't end up doing it. Actually, it was a fucking crowbar, but I think it was made out of plastic. We were taught to respect our elders, and they warned Tully they won't be so nice next time. Get him, boys, FTR. And they push Tully down on his ass, and then Tully has to do the old man up on one knee, get up off the ground.
I'll get you for this, I think is what he said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, stupid.
I liked LAX in this, but I thought overall it was whack, mostly because of Marvez. He's interviewing Tully, and as soon as they pop into picture, LAX, Marvez just exits completely without even saying something like, "Oh, this is too much for me. I got to get out of here." No acknowledgement. "Hey, Tully, how do you feel about blah, blah, blah?" LAX says one line. Marvez, without a word, casually saunters the other way. So this is the thing you complain about when you get the wrestling phony ones.
Yeah,
and you get another one later. The delivery and dialogue from all three men was good, but just the way that they handled that. And Marvez could have at minimum said, "Hey guys, come on, I'm trying to interview Tully. Let's keep it professional." Maybe he even puts the mic to their mouth. And then they grab Tully, and Marvez then backs up. He's like, "Come on, guys, come on. Hey, don't do this. Come on, don't do this. He's a 65-year-old man." We learn to respect our elders. Tully, what do you think now? Tully's on his knee.
Well, Marvez can come in and help him up. Tully, you okay? Yeah. You okay? And break the – and that adds the realness. You're a more than 100% right there, Sil. And it takes us 30 seconds of producing DCW and OVW and – TVs for every fucking fight TV network there is, and fucking they can't get this right. They can't even get that little bit right. Come on.
They can, but they didn't.
They don't. Week in and week out. Shivani is in the ring, and he introduces Hangman Page. Shivani with double earrings, bro.
I love it. I'm kind of biased though, Tony can almost do no wrong in my eyes, so I'm a bad judge for this kind of thing.
It went from an older guy, midlife crisis, diamond with a little money to now it looks like he's transitioning into your mom's morning coffee club, and soon he'll be having a fucking Jennifer Aniston hairdo and shit.
Do you know why I like it though? Because it's authentic. That is Tony. If you listen to his show and stuff, that's who Tony is. He thought it would look good at 60 whatever years old to get a double earring, and the motherfucker did it.
Old woman.
Bro. So I love it. He thought it looked good. If they would have put that gimmick on him, I'd hate it. But the fact that he made a personal choice, I love it. It's great.
It's are you going to catch him going through fucking what's her name? Vicky Guerrero's gear? He's trying on her stuff, trying on her dresses and shit.
If he wants, I say, do you, boo?
Page says some shit. He'll be AEW champion one day. Yeah, outcome Good Briz Cliz, Callus, Bucks, Good Brothers, Cutler, Omega. Then they all say the same thing until Matt's going to go down there and say some shit to Page's face. And then he does cut a program on him that they were friends and he left him for a bunch of losers, shitting on the Dark Order. You can smell his breath, smells like he's still hitting the bottle. And he's going to die a lonely, drunk cowboy in the end. He's going to be a wrestling tragedy. I thought that was pretty stiff and pretty good. Mm-hmm. I really like that, especially coming from a guy who's wearing a jumper. Maddie says only Page has himself to blame. So Matt says he doesn't have the balls to hit him, and Page clocks him in the face. They all powder out. Yeah. And then it breaks down again, and then Dark Order comes out to run him off. And Page cuts his promo back. So, but then Omega starts to promo, and I'm like, no, we just had the high spot. What are you going to do that was better than that? Are you going to do better than that? Nope, you're not. Okay, so now it's get my shit in time after we pass the high spot. I was just like, come on, man. That shit with Matt was where it was at, bro.
I thought Omega cut a really great promo while he was out
there. But it meant nothing. We had the action, right, already. And now you brought him back down. That promo's for next week.
Could we have had no physicality? So, like, let's say the Dark Order did come out to even the odds, but nobody was touched. It was more of a Mexican standoff. Then after Omega, Matt does his thing. Then after Omega finishes his promo and they lay out whatever the thing is, Omega goes to leave the ring, turns around, attacks Hangman. Hangman blocks a punch, boom. Then at that point, the baby faces bump all the heels out and the heels fuck off. Would that have been acceptable? So we had the high spot at the end.
At the end, I would have just liked the Matty stuff and fucking selling because he went down there and crossed the line like he was going to get in his head, got his ass whooped. They help him to the back, and it's like heels are embarrassed. We get a follow-up scene with like they're pissed off, and Omega then is going to lay down the gauntlet, and then we can do that second scene. But there needs to be a break in between those two because Matt's shit was so strong that to do anything after that is going to take it from an A to a B. And it's not the delivery, it's the extra stuff because it just puts it in the middle. And that's A-list shit, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you to an extent. I'd say the segment itself was average at best, maybe about a C. I really liked Omega's promo and delivery, his outfit, his look. I liked Matt Jackson's promo.
Yeah, I liked them both too.
I liked the first part of Hangman's promo, but they keep tricking me every week. They get me again and again. I'm going to fucking lose it one day. I see Hangman come out by himself to talk, and I go, yeah, we're getting our cowboy back. And sure enough, here comes the troop running into the ring, and now we're going to have to watch a 5-man.
And even then, he's like, the Dark Order doesn't back down. Like,
now
you're not in them, but you're – I'm just going, come on, man. We just don't get anybody
Hangman's got money written all over him. Why?
Yeah. Why can't you get one singles guy over in this company?
Imagine if Stone Cold at his peak against Vince was palling around with Kai and Ty.
Yeah, like fucking the Oddities and Stone Cold.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that would get over, right?
Yeah, good stuff, everybody. Backstage, Marvez talks to Jericho about the MJF stipulations. Jericho goes into a Greek mythologies thing. I'm going, what the fuck is going on between WWE and AEW that we are now telling stories of Loch Ness Monster, Hercules and the Succubus? What was the other one? The Alamo. Fucking dude, I'm just going, what is everybody doing? What are we doing?
Who was talking about the Alamo?
Drew McIntyre, that he was related to fucking
a Mexican at the Alamo.
No, the white guy, the Texan. What the fuck's his name?
Sam Houston, I think. Maybe.
No, the other one. Fuck, Davy Crockett. He's related to Davy Crockett.
Hey, remember when we used to get hot watching OVW and DCW when Kenny Bolin would stop commentating on the match to talk about Daniel Boone and Davy Crockett?
Yeah, Crockett. Yeah, he's talking. Oh, dude. We would get hot, too.
It'd be like the major point of the match.
I'm hot now because I forgot all about that. Now
we've been setting up everything, and it's like the last 3 minutes, here's the payoff. And he's like, one time, Daniel Boone.
Yeah, with David Crockett shot 19. He fucking saw Lennox Lightfoot and fucking Outlaw. An outlaw, and now in his mind is Indians, and that goes right to fucking those guys, and he's just waiting for his time to then tell the story about Dave, even though the finish in the story that we've been telling for 8 weeks is about to happen. Here comes the Daniel Boone fucking line. Oh my God. Stab me in the eye. But that's wrestling. Fun stuff.
There's one more. I'll make it brief, bro.
Right.
But do you remember when Kenny Bolin would come to the house shows, the big ones?
Yeah.
Like the ones that always drew well.
E-Town.
Yeah, E-Town or the faraway one. I can't remember the fucking name off the bat.
London, Kentucky.
London, Mount Olivet. Bolin did not come to house shows. He was a TV commentator. Right. However, and the way we made our money in those days was by selling our own merch.
Six Flags, he had mini Bolin. He would be at Six Flags.
Yeah, mini Bolin. So what Bolin would do was he would drive to the high drawing house shows every few months, and he'd bring a huge merch table of autographed celebrity pictures. He'd have all current and former WWE stars.
I also got the Our Life John Cena DVD.
Yeah, and
everyone signed.
He took John Cena's DVD, which I think was called My Life, and put his own cover on it and made it Our Life.
Our Life.
So he was selling bootlegged autographs that he signed himself. And all of these, yokels from farm countries around Kentucky and Indiana would be spending bukus of bucks to get a deal. Oh my God, I got the Undertaker's autograph picture for $10. While the boys who were busting their asses trying to sell our fucking pictures, and we're just over there looking at Bolin. Finally, we had like a near revolt, and several of us went to Danny and said, no, we cannot have this.
I wasn't a part because nobody's buying insurgency merch at that time. The only thing we could do is try and sell American flags through somebody else. But so that didn't affect me as much. But I remember you guys were hot about that.
Infuriating.
Oh, shout out King B, the carniest motherfucker of all, man. One thing I loved in this, and then I was kind of like, did they need that? Spears does a running out of nowhere and fucking blast Jericho in the fucking throat with an awesome chair shot.
Right?
Oh my God, it was perfect. Dropped him, and Jericho's selling, which they should watch that from the first match if you want to see what a sell looks like. That's one. So fucking down and out in Beverly Hills. Then MJF cuts the promo on one side, was the chairman on the other. Spears definitely found a nice bottle of B12 somewhere. Fucking looks great. And, I'm just going Spears. Yes, let's give Spears something awesome. And that fucking shot was great. But then they have Spears hit his arm with the chair on the way out. Well, he doesn't do the fucking flap shot. He does the throat shot again that he just did, which is not as impactful on the arm because the arm can lay flat and you can fucking sell it more like a wider surface. But we didn't even need that. Dude, that throat shot, see ya. All Jericho after they left, they needed to keep doing was going, and he sold both, but that first shot was an annihilator. It was great. So your thoughts on just having the second one or the style difference between the two? I know this is so nitpicky, but I liked this scene.
It's not nitpicky though. And I agree with you. We should have just had one because the second one came across as kind of weak after the first one looked so good. And even Jericho didn't know how to sell it. Like he didn't sell it like he did the throat one or like something bad happened. Jericho was just kind of like, like it wasn't a dramatic oversell. The only thing I didn't like about this is the same thing we complained about in the other one where we got too pro wrestling-y.
And this on that second one, and that's not on Spears as much as it is Chris because I think AEW should be doing things on pre-tapes like that, like, oh motherfucker,
sure,
and then bleeping it out.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, like that's where they can play HBO while WWE's playing Disney.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. The one I liked MJF's delivery. I love Jericho's delivery. The one thing I didn't like about this is Spears gives that nasty shot to the throat. Yeah. And then MJF calmly sits down next to Jericho and explains his bit. And then he pulls the arm with little resistance, and then they hit Jericho, and Jericho didn't quite know how to sell it because he probably could tell he didn't get him that good, so he didn't want to die. They're trying to recreate Crockett, which I know you didn't watch too much of, Hameen, but I sure did. And they're doing it wrong because what should have happened is Spears hits Jericho in the throat, goes down. MJF comes in. He's putting the boots to Jericho. Spears putting the boots to Jericho. In between, MJF's leaning down over Jericho, getting that dialogue out. saying whatever his lines were, this is going to happen. And now guess who you're going to have to face next week, motherfucker? This guy. Their spears for the final chair shot. Boom.
In the gut.
Run over the back or in the gut. Now what do you think? Take his scarf off, throw it on him, fuck off. And it's violent and realistic. Instead, they, give him the one shot, and then MJF sits on the couch like he's Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's great. That's a great lesson. I can see all that in a much better way than the scene we saw. I just marked for that first chair shot because I haven't seen one that clean in a long motherfucking time.
It was great.
Yeah, it was. But no, thank you for that. That was really great visual on a rewrite of a choice of what could have happened and would have been more impactful. Absolutely. We get two young up-and-comers getting their chance here on Fyter Fest. A young man named Christian out of Canada, I believe. And, North Carolina's own Matthew Hardy. So these boys are hoping to get a contract. They're excited about getting into the big time, getting here to Fyter Fest, and this is a big night for them.
I think they started on AEW Dark, and they might have had a match each on Dark Elevation.
I don't watch Dark, so
okay, yeah. So I think they had one on Dark Elevation as like the next tier, and then now we get to see them on Dynamite.
Well, they did a good job leaping and, fighting back, and Hardy catapults Christian neck first in the second rope. One thing I really liked, and I do this, and I forgot that I do it, but I'm going to do it more, is the fucking 2 top buckles, 2 middle buckles, 2 bottom buckles.
Great spot.
So, because why? Working levels, and marks don't know what that means, but that's the easiest way that I was taught by Mondo to work levels. And once we did it, I was like, dude, I'm doing this all the time because it got a big reaction. And it got a reaction out of me last night. And it just shows that a buckle spot where most guys will do 1 or try and do 10 and block and look at the other guy, back elbow him and give him the buckle. Okay. But that boom, 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 boom. There's just something about that as it goes down that it works very well on how to beat a guy down and make it believable. Christian comes close to beating Hardy, but Hardy's able to kick out. Matt Hardy's looks lean too. He looks good. I was like, he looks like he's lost. It looks like he lost a bottle of B12, but doesn't look in bad shape. He just looked healthy. Let's see. Hardy locks in his submission on the floor, and as the referee started 10 count, Christian beats the count, flops in, hits the kill switch cover, and that'll do it. Christian remains the best worker in the room.
I thought this was a great match, dude.
It was awesome.
We were joking a little bit about the dark stuff, but this was match of the night, and those 2 dudes worked their fucking ass off.
Yeah.
They were doing superplexes, taking big bumps. You could see what I loved about it is I could see how fired up they both were as men and human beings to get in there, have the match that they knew and wanted to have, and to kind of show all the younger cats back there, this is how it's done. Yeah. And they did it. They did all the selling you talked about.
Yeah.
They still did it. We had a dive. We got a superplex. We got all the new school shit. Yeah. It was done well, and it was a fucking that's the best match, Matt Hardy match, bar none, in AEW, and probably the best one he's had in 5 years.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yep. I can't disagree with any of that. These are 2 pros who are longtime veterans who still have a couple punches left, not too many on their bump card. And I was excited to get to watch this and go, watch this one, boys. I hope they did so little and just did it in text to each other, showed up at the arena, nobody saw them talking, and they just went out there. That would have been great. That's what I really hope for, to be honest with you.
You know what else was cool about it is after the match, we had Hardy's family run out to jump them. But we didn't get it because we had Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus come out, and there was no physicality.
But here's the thing: we just made the 10-man with fucking Briz Cliz and the Cowboy Squad. Fucking now we're gonna right here. I'm going. Here comes another 6-man right on the heels of making a multi-man match, which is a booking no.
Oh, trust me, I would have rather just had them go off to the next segment with Christian with his hand up.
Yeah.
But based on what we usually get and the busyness of it, the fact that there was no physicality involved in this was impressive. The heels went to come in, the babyface chased them away, and that was it. Then they hold Christian up. He gets his moment. Because what would usually happen is they would have came in and kicked Christian's ass. So I was glad he didn't get his ass kicked again.
Yeah, man, me too. I'm glad they didn't try and get their heat back right away, because that would have undone everything that those guys did, which was brilliant. But I agree. I would have rather had hand raised, look down at Hardy. Well, that's one more I'd mark it on my fucking side. Mm-hmm. Good stuff, man.
We got a great match, and then we got two pretty great promos, right?
We have Miro cutting another strong promo. He says a voice came from above and allowed him to remember who he was. Yeah, it's me, pal. Remember who you are. He says the hero wasn't a selfish man. He forgave everyone who wronged him, and his reward was the title. Miro says he's willing to defend this title not only for his life, but for the life of his opponent, and that's why he's the Redeemer. Miro's title is now a white strap with green on a main title plate. So new belts and new moniker, the Redeemer. Looks fucking phenomenal. Just puffed out, jacked, fucking. I could rip the fucking head off of a cow if I wanted to.
I cannot say enough glowing things about Miro. The promo was good. I've loved his promos recently, even probably mostly because of the broken English. And we both talked about it last week, how we like how he's doing this God complex, the Messiah complex.
Yeah, sure.
Now he's wearing the cross. I don't know if you noticed that. And he's saying the Redeemer line. So it was just so fucking strong. And then the way he looks and how he's booked and what he chooses to not take and bumps he chooses to not take in matches.
And they're cutting in his, what I didn't read in there, they're cutting in his finishes too while he's saying this pre-tape. So it was good.
I'd say right now, Miro, Britt Baker, and maybe Omega are the hottest properties right now in AEW. I'd put Miro at the top of the list. Okay. The best thing on the show.
I'm with you. Up there compared to where he was wearing fucking Disney women's pajamas and playing video games to where he is now. I agree.
Think about how far, bro, from the best fucking man when we almost lost it.
How about doing things right the first way? That'd be nice. That'd be a change for everybody.
I have a feeling that he was just listening when he got there and they had an idea and he said, okay, yeah, cool. He's being a team player. And then once he got in, he's like, now this is what we're going to do.
Yeah, I guess. But what lesson to me is, this is what we're going to do from the jump. I've seen what you've done. You're not going to do that shit to me. Here's what we're going to do.
That's probably what Aleister Black said.
Yeah, I'm not going to be the halal guy until it's time for 9/11 to come back around. And this is another big segment with Britt Baker. It's not about DMD this week. It's about GGP, baby. So we're placing the DMD letters with GGP, but comes out looking like $1 million. No Reba in tow. I was kind of upset about that.
Me too.
Because that's a great little background just to have an emotional take off of something that Britt's saying, and to not have that there lessens her a little bit. I think that's I don't know. I hope she's all right, but I think she is, but because she must have done Britt's makeup. Hair and makeup looked incredible. She looked stunning last night wearing the Scott Hall style red and black jacket. So, but Tony's back out there with 2 earrings on, and she comes down. She says, don't worry. She's dealt with worse. The wound's healed, and that's why she's the baddest bitch on the block. I'm waiting for Jade Cargill to come out right here. But, why are we saying other people's taglines?
Britt's been saying that way before Jade was a thing.
Yeah, but they made it a thing. And now if you're going to say it, that's going to lay the groundwork for that. But we're not. We're going back to Nyla Rose. So Baker says, imagine winning the title and finding out her challenger is Rose. And I go, yeah, all right. Rose has beat her before, but right now Baker is in a league of her own. Baker knows Vicky's in the back listening. She has a last name that will keep her relevant forever in wrestling, but Rose doesn't. She needs this title. Because that's going to do it. Baker says she's the hottest thing in wrestling with the title, but even without it, she's Dr. Britt Baker. D. Cut to the back. Vicky screams at the camera. They're going to beat her ass next week. Rose says that ass whooping's going to be world class. I hope a dude could beat a chick. I think that should be an easy task.
Oh, here you go. Let's talk about the segment. Okay, so Britt, number one, I fucking love. I missed Reba as well. My theory on this is they wanted Britt to do a serious promo, and I don't think we would have not touched on comedy had Reba been out there. I don't know if Reba is so charismatic and funny, and the way she reacts, she's like Lucille Ball and that other chick on I Love Lucy. I can't remember her name. I don't think Reba could have had a serious promo with Britt without her being entertaining.
Let me just
that's my estimation.
Because Britt's still got to be a heel, but she's so over as a babyface because of the barbed wire match and because she's sexy and because she's a doctor. But her charisma is to be the mean girl heel and be smart and witty. But smart and witty ends up getting you over when everybody else is doing goofy fucking dumb shit, walking around with fucking masks on. So she's over as a babyface playing a heel right now, and that's a different spot to be in.
Mm-hmm. Well, you remember what Rip would always tell us is that a great heel, if you're too entertaining, you only have a 2-year shelf life, because if you're very entertaining, no matter what you do, eventually the crowd's going to like you. So you get turned. So that worked great in the territorial days, where as soon as they started to like you, you could fuck off and they forget about it. But it happened to me.
It happened to me at 2CW.
Yep. There you go. If you're an entertaining heel, eventually people are going to start cheering you.
Just too smart, because I say the truths. And then my story was ongoing, and they would try and get over on me, which are super smart New York fans, and they'd think they were over, and then I'd come back over and power slam them with something even better, and they'd fucking go, oh, because they want it like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So, Dr. Britt is awesome. She oozes confidence now with this. The only downside of everything, and tell me if I'm wrong, Hameen, but I am no more excited to see her face Nyla than I was prior.
No, this didn't do much business at all.
It made us like Britt more, which is cool.
Yeah, that's about it, man. Because she's hugging Shivani. That's a baby face thing, even though that's a little side thing. So she's going to be over as a huge baby by the end of August. And Nyla's not doing anything for anybody's meter to raise them. When she said that, bitch, I thought, okay, here's your Jade Cargill intro. No, right back to it. If anything, if they wanted to, you could have had Nyla and her backstage, and Vicky could have gone, oh, you think you're that bitch, do you? Well, I was talking to somebody. In fact, why don't you come in here? And the lawyer comes in, and I represent Jade Cargill, and she has an official statement for you right now. Jade comes in, I'm that bitch, and I'm going to show you, bitch. And then now Nyla's in the back as a fucking higher boss on the video game, and she's got to deal with this fucking Sagat before she gets to M. Bison. You know what I mean? So
it's not a bad idea.
That's like, and that'll give them time to build out a division a little bit more. And you get a solid heel babyface division of who's on which side of the line.
I could see that doing that, what you just said. I just would have reversed it a little bit and had Jade, and all the heels agree on Jade, Vicky, and Nyla that Jade is in fact that bitch, and she'll be facing the winner of this match. Vicky's already agreed to let her have the first shot at the title when Nyla wins. And if Britt should win, I'm going to show her why I'm that bitch.
And they could get over by having Nyla go over on Britt with Jade's help if they establish them together. And then there's an excuse that, well, they fucked Britt out of it. She's an even bigger baby face, but we didn't tie any of that together.
The real baby face turn going over on Jade.
Come on, man.
Not bad. I mean,
Thanks. Wheeler, Utah with Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy versus Sammy Guevara. Man, this was a get your shit in fest, but everything was pretty safe, I gotta say. And Guevara really gave it his all. This was for lucha wrestling. If we had strong style earlier, and this is American lucha, it was pretty good, man. I gotta say, I there wasn't a lot where I was like, ugh. You know, even when they took a moment for character with the Shawn Michaels sexy boy pose and all that kind of shit, man. But in the end, it's Sammy G, which you knew was going to be the, winner anyway. But he hits him with the new Go to Hell, which is Punk's fucking Go to Sleep, right? So,
but done in reverse.
Yeah.
This was really good, man. And Guevara shined like a fucking star. These are the kind of like matches we should be seeing on Dark and stuff. This is
the kind of spotlight we should be seeing for Cowboy. This same formula, not doing lucha, but you know what I mean? How you shine and make a guy the right way.
And I'm impressed at Sammy's young age. You know, you have to learn how to do that. I've seen many people been yelled at, and I myself have been yelled at when it was a match that was supposed to be all about me and I gave the other guy too much. Sammy didn't do that. He gave this guy just enough to let the audience see he could do some shit and he was a worthy competitor. Then he patted him on the back at the end. But Sammy took 70% of that match, kicked ass, looked aggressive, and then he won. That's how you fucking get guys over.
You know, I knew that guy was good before the bell even rang.
Because Orange Cassidy was with him and they claim he trained him?
No, because his gear was dingy. It was at one time that was bright gear. Now I had that gray. I've been on the road. Fucking this shit's been washed. And I was like, this guy's going to fucking be good before it even rang, bro. I knew he was going to have stuff.
He's broke. He got to be good.
Yeah, he's got to be. It wasn't new gear. Like, I'm ready to go. It's my big time. You know, it was like, catch me next week at the fucking Eagles Club. You know, so respect. Yeah, no, I know I'm right. Fucking respect that dude. He held up. I'm not trying to rib on him. That's just how you know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd look at his gear right now and I can fucking see. I was like, that's got some miles on it. Penelope Ford versus Yuki Sasaki. Penelope Ford smoke show, money written on her. I don't know if I'd be booking these two with how deep my roster is, but I gotta say, Sil, this has got to make you feel good, or maybe they're listening because that was one of your gripes. We got all this time. We've got no women's matches the last couple of weeks. So here we are with a kind of a mid-card builder match for these girls to be highlighted. And we right on the heels of a highlight of the women with Britt Baker and Nyla Rose and Vicky. So definitely a big injection of spotlight for the women's division.
I wouldn't say big, but I would say injection. I had a whole rant I planned on doing about the women's and how they're not being used, and then this match itself. But at this point, I've cooled off a little. So I'll say Yuka did very well. Ford's look is absolute money. On camera, she looks fantastic. The unfortunate part about Ford is that everything she does is sloppy. She's gotten way better from day one, but she still has a way to go to where you could really push her as a serious wrestler. And I hope she keeps putting the time in to become good at the wrestling part.
Sure.
Because she's so good.
I think she's already past where Lana is in that same time period.
Sure. But I always say have Lana be a manager. There's no circumstances where I would have Lana be a wrestler. I don't care what she does. But Ford, I think, can keep getting there. So I don't want to shit on Ford because, you know, I think there's a lot to her. But
the cameraman was given a lot for the old spank bank for the fucking boys last night. She did on the pin. She had the leg up. There was a couple other times they were right up in there. And hey, like I said, let's HBO. Like, guys want sex, especially if your fucking demo is 18 to 49 tape trader masturbators. They're gonna want that shit. So give it to them, especially if she's willing to know where my wrestling isn't that good. My sex appeal is where my money is. I'll give you a little fucking sneak peek, and while my husband can go work indies or whatever.
And you heard the crowd pop when she did that split to start the match. So yeah. I'm not going to do the promo I had, but I do have to get one thing out. Like,
What?
So right now they have they have the best female wrestler on the planet, Serena Deeb, sitting backstage.
Mm-hmm.
They have Thunder Rosa,
mm-hmm.
one of, if not the hottest female wrestling talents in the world right now. They have a lot of women that they've been trying to build and bring along, et cetera, et cetera. We haven't seen them on TV in weeks. Instead, we get Penelope Ford, who looks great. We know her work isn't anywhere near Serena or a Thunder Rosa. And we have Yuka, who is a bit player. I like Yuka. Like, if she lived here full time, I'd be on the train. I'd be like, fuck yeah, use her all the time, push her, do this, do this. But we see her sometimes, and then she goes back to Japan. She's not a major player. So what we did was we put her over one of our stars that we're trying to build, and who knows if she'll be back next week, and who knows if she'll be back the following week. When meanwhile, we have these women that can work and work their fucking ass off. Just imagine if WWE had the balls to not put Charlotte Flair, Becky, and Sasha on television ever.
They put a lot of guys who are far better workers in under storylines that will never get over it. My point to you, taking it back to the beginning of, are they pulling Carano-esque or whatever, Bruce-esque, Heyman-esque bullshit that doesn't need to be done? Are they keeping those women off TV because they will outshine and expose 90% of their roster as not being as good as them on the male side? Could that be a possibility?
Can you tell me one thing Thunder Rosa's done since she won the Lights Out match with Britt Baker?
No.
We see Britt on TV every week, and God bless her. I love Britt. Why don't we see Thunder Rosa?
Did somebody
see Serena?
Somebody play politics and fucking cut her throat?
At least we got Statlander back, but I'd sure much rather see her in there against Serena or Rosa instead of Bunny.
But yeah, but they're not gonna, because that's the proving ground. And then when you have a fucking match like they did where Bunny gets hurt or people are scorpion themselves, Red Velvet and all them, and they're trying to do all this shit that they shouldn't even be attempting, like, it shows that they're not ready. So why would you put them in there? They do need to get in and work with them and get better. I agree. Maybe not in front of a live crowd, but I just don't know. Is there politics from the boys keeping the girls who are better than them off of TV as well?
Where's Sheeta? She can work. And remember when they were getting Abaddon over? She has one of the best characters in the business.
How about Shorty Russian?
When's the last time we seen Abaddon? Shorty Russian doing a good job.
Yeah. How about Swole?
Who?
Okay.
Bro, they've been using a Florida talent on Darks who I think is great, and I would have signed years ago. Her name's Natalia Markova, a very good-looking Russian chick that can legit work. Her and Jenna had some of Jenna's best matches. This chick can go. She's on Dark all the time. You could put her tomorrow on Dynamite with any of these women, whether they be the new ones or the upper tier talent, a la Thunder and Serena, and she'd fucking kill it. They have the talent there, but we're not getting them.
So why? It's
because
not.
They don't think.
I don't think it's Omega in charge of the women anymore. I think it's Dustin and Dean, right?
Maybe, I don't know, but they don't think it's important enough.
Holodead.
She lost to Nyla Rose in under 2 minutes.
When she could lead Nyla for 20 and get a best match out of her she's ever had, probably.
And of all the people, they have 120-pound extras every week there. Of all the people that they were going to feed someone to Nyla. Of all the people they were going to feed to Nyla, Holodead. 200-pound Holodead in under 2 minutes.
That's how it goes. Not scared of nothing.
What are you doing, guys?
Yeah.
Maybe they got fucking stir crazy when they started and they put out a lot of women that did not have the experience needed. So the women's division started getting a bad name. But that's been changing drastically over the last 10 months. When we've seen the rise of Britt, we've seen Rosa, we've seen Serena, we've seen Statlander return. We've gotten a lot of good stuff in the women's division. So they're turning that corner, but they're not investing in them. I got to fucking rant a little bit. All these other shows we're getting at least somewhat equal platform. Watch I don't like Raw. I fucking hate it. But watch a Raw and you'll see at least a decent division of time between the men's matches and women's matches. Same with NXT. Same with SmackDown. ROH right now is doing a women's tournament. NWA is doing the first ever women's pay-per-view. What the fuck's AEW doing? They're giving us one women's match a week. Sometimes not even that. Thank God. Oh, I mean, thank you so much. You blessed me with the extra promo for the women this week instead of just the normal one match. Oh, man. Some real fucking facts. Private Party, being part of Matt's thing, gets roughly equal TV time to the entire women's division. You're just as likely to see Private Party doing something on Dynamite than you are to see any of the fucking women on the roster or the roster collectively. It's bullshit.
Where am I right now? When did you turn into me? Holy shit.
Sorry, I told you I was.
That was phenomenal. That was phenomenal. I almost brought a tear to my fucking eye. That was great.
They deserve better, and they are better.
They have so much. Like, it, with me in business, man, it's about max value, and they're getting maybe 5% value from where they could be right now.
Goddamn Thunder Rosa sitting on the bench. You telling me you can't make a fucking dollar with her? Or Serena?
Yeah.
You can't make no money, zero monies?
None.
You can't make zero monies with Holiday?
No. The only way this match to win this match is to stuff your opponent into a coffin and close the lid. It's a coffin match between Ethan Page and Darby Allin. Yeah, man. I knew somebody was in the coffin when they were carrying it out. I'm not sure if you know any of those indie worker guys that were getting a shot to carry it out, but unfortunately, I have carried a couple caskets of my homies, and I knew somebody was inside because it's being a pallbearer, not an easy job. It sucks when you got big homies like I do, and I knew somebody was in there. So Scorpio Sky was in it. Pops out, Stinger comes down, they fuck off. I'm real happy for Sky because he gets to work with Sting, and have that chapter in his career. That's pretty cool.
It's a great little fight they did too, huh?
It was really good, dude. It was really good back and forth. And it got it out of the way early. That was what's important too, so that we could focus. And dude, they fought all over the arena, Ethan Page and him. They even went up to in the crowd high spot. He jumps off of where you would come out, in the middle of the arena on the second tier off of the railing and catches him. But then Page fucking throws him against railing to railing. And I go, that looked good on paper. I bet they're going to regret that one in the morning, bro, because the railing is undefeated. You will not beat it. You will not beat the railing. You think it's going to fucking go your way. It's not. Puts him through another handrail and then is like stepping on his head, real good, just heel shit. Is what I like. Some violence that is not sexy. So everything that Darby does is going to be. He throws him over the steps. Darby blasts his knee into the fucking steps. Those are the spots that everybody at home can relate to. You all smacked your knee on some corner or something, man. So I really like that stuff. They fight out in the crowd. Yeah. What else happened? What was the end? Fucking he puts they take off the rope and the turnbuckle's still on there. He hooks it on Darby's necklace, pulls it, which was good. I was like, why did he hook it on his pants? I go, because he'd have to bump on it. Darby's necklace breaks, but he takes a great bump and the thing goes out of range of kind of hitting Darby in the head. Very good for a visual stunt. I thought that was really, really good, man. Let's see.
Darby ends up fish hooking Ethan with the same fucking
but he did that. He took care of. I like that these guys are taking care of each other, but they're doing it too much. From the forearms in the beginning to this, the thing was just in his mouth. You got to fucking give her a little tug.
Yeah, but you can't really fuck around with so much on that one.
I'll fuck around with it. I'll control it the right way, bro. Yeah, dude, I would have. But yeah, fuck yeah. Let's see. Page busted open. Alan brings open the coffin. He gouges the eyes of Page, bites him. Alan grabs his Paulo Peralta Bones Brigade skateboard reissue and hits him with an acid drop on his back while he's through the ropes. Some people call it a boneless, whatever you want to fucking call it.
Acid drop.
I like acid drop too. And he fucking, if you ever been hit with a skateboard, you know there's no way to fake that. That sucked. He took all of that too. Skateboard remains undefeated. And then he throws him into he hits him with a double stop like that, and then throws him into the fucking coffin and closes it. And was like, all right, that's good, but should he have hit the coffin drop before he did that? Then the motherfucker goes up and hits a coffin drop through the top of the coffin lid while Paige is in there blind, knowing it's coming, but has no idea when it's coming, bro. What a great main event for both of these guys. Paige had great facials in the crowd. He is shining like the star he's been training to be from Indies, FCW, Impact. This was the first time he's really had a mega spotlight, and I give him fucking all Meltzer's 5, 6, 7, 8 stars, whatever. And then to overbook the finish after the win with the high spot was fucking great. And I was thoroughly impressed by this entire match. This is your match of the night. Sorry to those two up and comers. I forgot their names already, Matt and Chris B or something like that. But this was a main event, bro. This was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, man, it was good shit. And you're right. Like, I can only imagine how much Ethan is just shitting his pants waiting for this motherfucker
just to die. Waiting to die. You have no idea what's going to happen. Just cover your eyes and hopefully you don't get a splinter in it.
And Darby's small and he's safe. So you know it's not going to be the worst, but you know it's going to hurt.
Yeah,
and you're just fucking chilling.
It's good.
One thing that you didn't cover that I thought was really cool, I always put over Darby's psychology and how he uses traditional psychology in the modern setting. I love the fact that Darby attacked him at the beginning of the match. He's running his back into Paige, and Paige is bumping for him. Mm-hmm. You know, he attacks the bigger guy without looking. Then he takes his jacket off to reveal he has a steel plate on his back, gives him one more shot, and Paige goes out of the ring. And now the announcers are putting over, oh, Darby managed to even the odds with the bigger guy. Now they're even. How fucking smart was that? And I know that was Darby's idea because the motherfucker understands the psychology of being a smaller wrestler.
That's taking the Clint Eastwood Unforgiven bit, right? And having the fucking potbelly stove thing under and taking that to a wrestling level. How do we do that in the fucking ring? So good artists create, great artists steal and make it their own.
You remember the Bret Hart Goldberg thing, right? When WCW, when Goldberg went to spear him and he got up. Yeah, pulled up the hockey jersey.
Yep.
So I thought it was dope, man. It was crazy. It was a lot of action to follow, but I thought they had a hell of a match. And Ethan Page, I think, is the top guy in the making, and Darby's probably still the best babyface in wrestling. So overall, man, it was a good show. I know I ran a little bit about the treatment of the women, but it was a pretty damn good show.
Yeah, I was down with it, man. It's not like I hate those guys. I wanted them to succeed in the beginning, but that match just was head-shakingly frustrating for me. So, but yeah, man, I like the promos, and there's definitely more value that we could absolutely get out of everybody. So what do you got going down this week, man? Anything cool?
This week is just prep, man. Nothing big. Just getting the crew ready, and the road to the chase at the end of August has started. So, been putting Jenna through a lot of the paces. So this week's just maintaining and getting my crew of killers ready to kill.
Nice, man. Well, you're doing a great job, buddy, making top properties from indie promotions to get out there and have a great foundation all the way up to training people to get the most out of their opportunities on all TV or streaming platforms, man. You're really just becoming one of the top gatekeepers of the business. And I think that's exactly where we need as many as we can have at this point, man. So I appreciate you on all levels, buddy. I'm going to be in New Jersey this weekend, though, at Titan Championship Wrestling with Blaze Haram. Now that's Haram, infidels. And that mercenary Mark himself better watch his back. before I light him on fire and tear him down like so many other buildings that have stood in my way. So it's going to be a good time. Go to cameo.com/Bin Hameen. I'll be glad to cut a terrorist promo for you. Or we've been doing a little today's your birthday, pal. Yeah, a little Bincy birthday wishes out there as well. So we had some fun with that on Cameo. Appreciate everybody's support and patreon.com/Hameen Media Group. Getting shows like this for free for now. Still, I had David Icke with us in the Conspiracy Horseman this week, a huge show for us that'll debut on Realm in a couple weeks. But yeah, man, things are pretty awesome as usual, and I'm very thankful for all my friends and all my faithful staff and everybody just doing everything to make HMG truck forward, as we did 9 hours so far, I think, of broadcasting here today. We're getting close to it.
That's it, just 9?
Yeah, we're getting close to it.
Yo, I did hear that you got a couple sexy cameos requested as well. Have you sent those out?
Well, all the Vince cameos have no pants on, just a suit jacket, pal. Just underpants. So yeah, thank you, Genocide, for ordering all 5 of those cameos. I appreciate you, sweetheart. Show you what a real man looks like here on Light the Fuse, pal.
Hey, woman.